Alrighty, let's talk about it. Hurry Up Tomorrow. A movie that I honestly wish I could unwatch. This was billed as some deep psychological, artistic experience, but what we got was a confusing, dull, and frustrating mess. Outside of a few standout elements, this was a total snooze fest. So, what is Hurry Up Tomorrow even about? That's a great question, because I can't even tell you after sitting through 2 hours of it. As at its core, it's supposed to be about the Weeknd. He's playing himself. And it's like a version of himself who's dealing with insomnia and emotional fallout after a breakup. And that's kind of your setup. And so we're told and not shown that he's spiraling because of this mysterious woman who left him. Meanwhile, Jenna Ortega plays a young woman who becomes obsessed with him. And there's supposedly some history between, I don't even know if it's like between, I don't know. But the film never explains any of anything, or who she even is, and why she's so fixated on him or anything like that. And it's like we're missing key chapters of a book and expect it to feel something based purely on vibes. The first 30 minutes of the movie try to set up this bizarre dynamic and tone, but it all leads nowhere. There's no real tension, there's no character development, and no reason to be invested. Then in the final 45 minutes, the movie completely shifts gears and becomes something even stranger. Jenna Ortega kidnaps the Weeknd, and yes, ties him up like you saw in the trailer, and then we just get scene after scene of her singing and dancing to his music, and that's kind of like the climax. Like, there's a point, I get it, but even then, I was like, 45 minutes, okay. And there's very much a 3-person show with Keoghan, Jenna Ortega, and the Weeknd, but Jenna Ortega is like the only reason to stay awake in this whole thing. She brings intensity and emotion and commitment to a role that frankly doesn't deserve her. Okay, Ortega does an absolute best with paper thin material that she's given, and Keoghan also shows up a few times. He's good in everything, but he's just barely in the movie, so there's nothing really to say about him. And I feel like they kind of just dropped him for like some name value or something like that. It's weird. He does fine, but the script gives him also nothing to work with. And they don't, like, nothing registers. They're either flat lines, forgettable, or clearly just filler around the real focus, which is Ortega and the Weeknd. Now, speaking of the Weeknd, this might be one of the most awkward, lifeless performances I've seen from musician turned actor in a long time. Not only is he playing himself, which already feels indulgent, but he brings absolutely nothing to the screen emotionally, and his delivery is pretty wooden. His expressions are blank, there's zero chemistry with Ortega. It's like he's overacting it sometimes, and that's a huge problem given their dynamic, because he's supposed to be the emotional core of the story, the main character. Now, here's where things get tricky, because visually this movie is absolutely stunning. Camera work is brilliant, the cinematography is top notch, every shot is framed beautifully, the lighting's moody, atmospheric, there's party scenes that go crazy. Director clearly has an eye for style because he's made good stuff. There are some fantastic camera movements and creative choices that make you want to like the movie more than you actually do. But great visuals can't save a script that goes nowhere. It's frustrating because you can tell the director put in the work, but the film itself, despite being high quality and a visionary experience, has no story. The script is completely empty. Hurry Up Tomorrow is one of those movies that you want to say something profound about, but it has no idea what it actually is trying to say, anything about being profound. It hides behind symbolism, moody lighting, and long stares instead of delivering real characters or a coherent plot. Outside of Jenna Ortega, who's once again proving that she's too good for these projects she keeps getting stuck in, there's no anything to praise. If the film had matched its stunning visuals and an actual story, this could have been something special. But what we get instead is a 30-minute slop fest setup that leads to 45 minutes of weird musical captivity, and none of it has any weight. It's shallow, it's slow, and it's self-indulgent. The final score is a 2 out of 10. It's only getting that because of Jenna Ortega and the visuals. Everything else, complete waste of time. If you agree with me, which I'm sure you do, because this movie's awful, like, subscribe for more, and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this film, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.